Hello everybody. In this video we'll try to understand what happens when Rahu is in the 11th house of a horoscope. See, in Vedic astrology, what Rahu represents fundamentally? Rahu represents your ambition, illusion, your foreign influence, your sudden gains in your life, unconventional desires, obsession, your material cravings. This is Rahu fundamentally. And what is 11th house in Vedic astrology? 11th house is the domain of income. It is the domain of gains. Domain of income in the sense it's the domain of gains. It is called as Labhasthana in Vedic astrology. So of course, second house basically represents your liquid cash and your income. But 11th house is fundamentally, it is called as the house of gains, how much profit you can get. And 11th house is also the house of social networks. It's a house of fulfillment of desires. And it represents your elder siblings also. 11th house represents your elder siblings, whereas younger siblings can be represented by the third house. So 11th house is basically your elder siblings. And then the recognition that you get in your life is also represented by 11th house. So when Rahu is occupying this 11th house, it's a very, very important position. And generally speaking, Rahu is comfortable in the 11th house. I'm telling you, Rahu alone in the 11th house, most of the times it is good. But if Rahu is in conjunction with some other planet, let us say Rahu is in conjunction with Jupiter, then Rahu drains up Jupiter related significations in your life. That is the impact. Of course, Rahu can give you something, some money or, some good amount of money in the 11th house. But when Rahu is sitting with some Jupiter, right, it may drain up some Jupiter related things, or you may overly associate with Jupiter related people. Or sometimes, let us say Rahu is in conjunction with Mars, then Rahu obviously amplifies Mars related things. And you need to check the dignity of the Lord of the house as well. If that particular Lord of the house is providing enough nourishment to the 11th house, then yes, Rahu would also get a lot of resources to consume, or Rahu could also amplify all those qualities. So fundamentally, or you can say most of the times, right, Rahu in the 11th house means Rahu alone in the 11th house magnifies the qualities of the house it sits in generally. Then the 11th being the house of gains, so this placement often gives sudden and immense material success, but through some unusual or some foreign or some unconventional means, we can say. So unconventional means in the sense kind of technology or social media, foreign trade, political influence, or modern innovation. These are the areas of Rahu. So those are actually unconventional things. And then you may have some unorthodox social circle. So the native tends to attract or associated with some kind of influential or foreign friends. So there can be a fascination with powerful people, sometimes, leading to some kind of manipulation and all. But this actually signifies you are actually going to associated with some influential people in your life. And basically, see, Rahu seeks more. It says more and more and more, right? So the native may constantly network and climb socially, but genuine friendships might be very rare. If you ask Rahu in the 11th house person, of course he might have some connection with some influential people, but he would not have, genuine friendships in the life. That is another problem. And the desire for recognition, see, Rahu fuels an insatiable thirst, a thirst for fame, wealth, and this kind of things, right? The materialistic things. So the native may feel they can never have enough. The native, whatever money he would have, he may always say, it's not enough for me. He would always chase some bigger ambitions. As a life would become restless to some extent. So this drive can make them successful also, but very, very restless, I would say. Now, can generally Rahu teaches karmic lessons. That's what we say. So, of course, as a karmic challenge here, so Rahu gives material gains but demands some spiritual growth in the 11th house. That is a fundamental thing. So that's the most important thing for Rahu in the 11th house people. Rahu can give you material gains, but just see it demands some spiritual growth. If you do not have spiritual growth, because why spiritual growth, there would be some sudden loss also. If you are not spiritually well, then there would be some sudden loss, and then you would develop spiritually thereby, right? I will explain you with some kind of examples so that you can understand it better. So another important thing I want to tell you, if Rahu is well placed and aspected by some benefics like Jupiter or Venus, that there is an expectation of tremendous material prosperity, global reach, and innovative success. If it is also watched by some Saturn or Mars kind of planets, with some malefics, afflicted with malefics or watched by malefics, it's a kind of unethical gains can be seen in your life. False friendships are expected, or some downfall after success can also be expected. That is the 11th house things. Now, in general, I would say Rahu in the 11th house is like a person who grants your wishes, but every wish, of course, you fulfill, it comes with a test of your wisdom. And I'm telling you, if Rahu is in conjunction with another planet, that changes the scenario to some extent. I would say Rahu in the 11th house person can go to abroad easily. It's a kind of comfortable position. Rahu in the 11th house, and a person can go to abroad easily. I would say easily here, right? So compared to other planetary positions in your horoscope, Rahu in the 11th house can give you the foreign connection easily. But if this Rahu is in conjunction with some other planet, this going abroad, or if this Rahu is aspected by some malefic planet or a functionally malefic planet, this going abroad easily, right, may not be possible. So that's why if Rahu is alone in the 11th house, and if the Lord of the house is providing good nourishment, it's very easy for a person to go to abroad. That is a fundamental thing in Vedic astrology. Now just imagine, and another important thing I want to tell you, you may not have genuine friends in your life. That is another disadvantage when Rahu is in the 11th house. You might be having some, famous connections in your life, but what about genuine friendships? Almost you'd have zero, I would say, or mostly one, kind of. That is the problem with Rahu in the 11th house. That one also doubtful, right? Now, let's imagine a person is having Rahu in the 11th house. She actually has Rahu in the 11th house. So from childhood, she dreamed of wealth and fame. That is expected because Rahu is in the 11th house. So she should run after wealth and fame. That is expected. And she built a small shop, let us say. That shop sells a lot of spices. And she also used a lot of clever tricks to attract great people in that city. And of course, she has Rahu in the 11th house. It's easy for her to have some contacts with richest people in that city. Of course, she can get it. Now she got it. Now what happens? Rahu's nature is a kind of illusionary, right? So it always tests you. So let us say the person she actually associated with powerful people in the city, even the politicians, even the movie people, she started associating with even the royal people. So she thought, yes, I made it, right? And even her friends prized her like anything. Oh wow, you are just amazing, right? Now let us say one day a very big drought impacted the city, and her spices shop is completely, you know, gone in that floods or whatever, in the drought. Then you just see at the time, none of her friends, none of her friends came to her. You're getting it? So just see, her wealth vanished overnight, her friends vanished overnight. And then, let us say, in that despair, she met a sage, and the sage said, your Rahu is in the 11th house, and your Rahu can give you everything you want, but Rahu would also teach you, right? Rahu would teach you what truly matters for you in the life. Now, she got a lesson. She got a lesson that when so much of money and so much of wealth, fame are with you, yes, people would be with you. But when you do not have anything, any fame or wealth, people will not be with you. That's the lesson she got. Now what she is going to do? Now she builds that shop again, and now she did not play any tricks. She did not use any tricks to attract the noble clients. She started just doing her business, right? And now she has some decent amount of gains, and she also donated some of the gains to the poor people. Now you can see, again she got some fame in the city, but this time this particular fame that she has got is not a kind of artificial fame. It's a real fame that she is very kind, she helps the poor. Now she has some goodwill, not illusion. You got it? So that is how Rahu teaches in the 11th house, right? So lot of gains through illusion, and then connecting to foreign people, famous people, then a very big fall in the life. Then again she got a lesson. Now again she got some goodwill. That is the kind of, energy you can feel when Rahu is in the 11th house. So Rahu is in Rahu in the 11th house person, in the early stage of life, he or she always runs after this wealth and fame, and finally gets a lesson. After that, they would behave normally, and they do the things with some kind of honesty, and they get some goodwill. So this is the kind of story. So Rahu in the 11th house is also noted as a kind of mirage of more. It's something like, you always say, it's not enough, I want more wealth, I want more followers, I want more fame. So this is actually, it's a kind of continuous thirst that you have. That's Rahu in the 11th house. And you can always imagine a person chasing trends, manipulating data, or, always running after this wealth and everything when Rahu is in the 11th house. So what are all the remedies that you can follow then? So when Rahu is in the 11th house, you should avoid unethical or manipulative gains. Generally, in the early stage of life, do not apply any tricks to attract the famous people in the society. It's just waste of time for you. Whatever you gain through all the tricks, one day you will lose. And Rahu wants to teach you that is the trick. Better you help the poor, better you help those suffering from some addiction, right? That is a kind of remedy also. If anybody is suffering from some addiction, better you do something for them. And keep humility in success. Do not boast, or you know don't be in a kind of illusion. Avoid any kind of obsession with social status, I want to tell you, right? And avoid any kind of intoxicants in your life. That is, this is the behavioral thing that you can do. And spiritually, or if you want to do something, then of course you have to chant Rahu mantra every day 108 times, if not at least on Saturdays 108 times. Worship goddess Durga, and because she governs Rahu and grants clarity beyond your illusion, right? So, and also donate some sesame oil, black clothes, or urad dal on Saturdays. Is kind of Saturn remedies, but they work for Rahu as well. So it's another important thing is keep your washroom very clean, and also do not take any kind of gadgets into your washroom, and that is another important thing. So these are all good enough, so that is Rahu in the 11th house. Generally it's the theme. Rahu in the 11th house, it in so many lives this theme goes on, running after wealth and fame, going to foreign land, or connecting to some foreign people or foreign friends or influential people in the society, thereby living in some illusion, the middle of the life at 28 or 30 of your age, or that kind of period. Then again, losing something in 30s or 40s or sometime, and then realizing that money is not everything, fame is not everything, and practicing some kind of honesty, then finally getting some good fame again. And even if even after that, if you get some fame, it would not touch you. It would not touch your emotions or heart or your brain or anything. There's a kind of pattern. Rahu in the 11th house is that kind of pattern. So thanks for watching this video. If that pattern, if you want that kind of pattern not to touch you, follow some remedies so that you cannot go to that pain state where losing everything and then sitting alone without friends, right? One day means when you lose everything, fame and wealth, friends would not be with you because your Rahu is in the 11th house, right? So not for everybody. See, other people with other planetary positions, they may have some genuine friends, but only I'm talking about Rahu in the 11th house, right? Thanks for watching this video.